Hey student, in this vocabulary lesson, I'm going to talk about one vocabulary practice that you must do if you want to speak English more correctly. So watch the lesson until the end and let me know what you think in the comments. If you don't know me very well, I am Teacher Prix and I'm going to help you talk to anyone, anywhere, anytime in English. Make sure to subscribe to my channel, you are invited, because every week I post different kinds of English lessons to help you become a better and more confident English speaker. So here we go. Let's talk about vocabulary, my friends. This vocabulary practice is simple and it's something that I have been doing consistently for at least 10 years. Yeah, I'm the queen of consistency. Yes, I've been doing this often, and I recommend you start including as well because this is a common mistake, especially at a pre-intermediate and intermediate level. And if you don't improve this, you keep making this mistake forever and never. So let's stop that. Let's change that, okay? Now, guys, as I said, this is a challenging moment because you are going to be having more complex conversations. You want to talk about different things. You want to express yourself, and you will need words. Words, not work. So to do that, you need words. And that's when you shouldn't start to make a lot of mistakes in conversations. Because probably when they were beginners, they learned words, but they never really paid attention as of how to use the words correctly. One thing I talked about yesterday, this week we're having a special event, a special workshop that I always do, not always, but a few times a year. And I was talking that in traditional methods, unfortunately, they don't teach students to create. They teach students to copy. So you learn a word, but you don't learn to create with that word. And what do I mean create? Create new examples, phrases, your sentences, talking about your life. And that is very problematic because by the time you get to an intermediate level, you don't know how to use words correctly because you learned to copy. You didn't learn to create, okay? Now, what is the practice? I'm going to go straight to the point here. Different types of words. So you will need to go back to basic types of words and learn variations, okay? But there are different types of words. I'm not going to focus on all of them, like, oh, a preposition. Oh, no, I'm not going to go back to this conjunction. No. Let's make this very simple because it's a very specific mistake here. And when you correct the simple, you get so much better, so let's work on the simple things. Because when you work on the basic, voila, you can talk to anyone, anywhere, anytime. So you should, in conversations, guys, this is a common mistake, okay? So here I have the word awareness. Awareness is a noun. And what is the common mistake in spoken language? Using awareness as an adjective. And this will happen again, and again. Confusing the types of words in conversations. And this is something that I don't know you in person. I may have never talked to you, but I know you make this mistake. Why? Because in my academy, I have helped more than 1,000 different BSA, more than 1,000 different people in my academy, only in my academy. But I have been working as a teacher for the past 17, 18 years of my life. And I can tell you, this happens to most, 99% of students at all levels, okay? But when I am, no. If you're not careful, if you don't watch out, you're going to use words incorrectly, types of words. So going a little deeper, you cannot be awareness, okay? Things cannot be awareness. But you can have awareness, okay? You can describe awareness, but you can't be awareness. And what is it? Let's take a look at the example that students usually make. And this example, for example, I took it from my babies and I corrected them. I gave them the feedback. Hey, you're not awareness. You are aware. Look, I am awareness. She didn't like her present. I am awareness. No, you are aware. Aware is the adjective, the word you need, which is an adjective. Awareness is the description of the feeling of the word. So awareness is the condition, the state, the name of the state. Aware is how you feel. I can describe someone as being aware or unaware, which is the opposite of aware. But I can't say I am awareness. I can't. I will need to think of another verb. I have the awareness. That's possible. But can I say I have awareness? Well, I need to think of a situation. I need to think of a good sentence. I can't just put it out there and not give you a complete phrase for a conversation. That's when I go back to traditional methods. They don't teach you to create. They teach you to copy. I have awareness. Everybody writes, I have awareness. I am aware. I have awareness. Good. Now you know the difference. But you're copying. You're not creating. And then what happens? You forget. Oopsie daisy. So change that. This is a mistake that takes time, effort, practice. That's why I said at the title of the video, practice, okay? And this will repeat itself with adjectives and adverbs, verbs and adjectives, verbs and nouns. Students make a complete fruit salad when it comes to types of words. And if you are looking to improve your communication, if you're trying to speak more correctly, oh my goodness, this is something you absolutely must do. And this is something that it's so important that I teach my babies in my academy. This is the first lesson I teach my students in my academy. This is the first module. They have to go back to the types of words. And throughout their experience inside my academy, they keep revisiting this subject because they are always creating examples to me. And here, this student, she posted an example with the word tired. She wrote tiredly. Tiredly is possible. It's an adverb. But the way she used it was not okay. That's not how native speakers do it. Another thing that you need to understand about English grammar and communication, just because the book says, I use verbs, I use adverbs to describe verbs, doesn't mean you're always going to do that. For example, that's what she did because in the lesson she learned, well, adverbs describe verbs. That's the lesson and it's correct, okay? But when you are in the real world, things change. So feel, it's a state verb. I'm describing a feeling. So I feel tired. She wrote, I feel tiredly. And then I told her, when describing how you feel, you typically use adjectives. This is not common in conversations. I feel tired. I don't feel tiredly. But if I look at the grammar, only the grammar, I don't analyze situations, I don't analyze conversations. This would be correct. This would be perhaps okay. But that's not how I teach my babies. My babies learn to create. My students in my academy learn to create. They don't just copy, they create. And that is a very important point on your journey to fluency. If you want to improve your level, if you want to speak more correctly, this is something you need to spend time on because you will only get better with practice. Now, make sure to subscribe to my channel, yes, because I'm always here creating lessons for you, okay? I appreciate it. It helps YouTube understand that this is a good channel when you become a subscriber, and it helps even more when you share. So I appreciate it. And if you're interested, I have an amazing study plan cycle. Yes, I have some interesting materials. Now, my academy is not open yet. It will open on Sunday if you're watching this when it's released. But anyway, let's keep rolling. Now, how to work on this? Teacher Prix. Well, first, whenever you're learning a new word, you need to understand the type of word, not just the translation. Because, believe it or not, when it comes to grammar, even in our own native language, sometimes we don't have a clear understanding of what an adjective is, of what a noun is, of what a verb is. You may think, no, of course, everybody does. Everybody knows. Not everybody knows. You learned your language. You went to school. You studied for years. But you may not remember the technical explanations you know how to use. The same thing happens to native speakers, okay? The same happens to Americans, Canadians. They know English, but they don't know all the explanations. So maybe if you ask them, what's a noun? They're gonna be like, what? I don't know. It's a fruit? Vegetable? I know it sounds absurd, but they know how to use the language. And I'm not talking about all Americans. I'm not talking about everybody, but it's a possibility. Depending on how you talk to me, on the question you ask me about Portuguese, my native language, I won't know how to explain. I know how to use. But if you ask me, what's this? What's the name of this grammar point? I don't know. Because I learned many years ago. I didn't pay attention to the technicality, okay? So here in English, as you are trying to get to the next level, you need to spend some time on this, okay? So nouns, I put a short list here of nouns. Analysis, intention, teacher, mastery, information. These are nouns. I cannot describe someone as intention. As teacher, I can. And I will talk about that, okay? Analysis. Then I have the verb, analyze, intend, teach. A common mistake students make, teacher, teach. Teachers teach. I teach. Teachers is the name of the person who teach. Okay, who teaches, excuse me. Master. Oh, you will see that sometimes the words repeat themselves, and I will talk a little bit more about that. This is only an introduction to the subject. Guys, I am covering a very small piece of the puzzle, okay? There's so much more to this that I can't stay here talking because I need to make this lesson short. And my intention was to raise your awareness. Look at me using the word from the slide. I want to raise your awareness. What is awareness in this case? I want to raise your comprehension, your understanding of this situation, okay? I want to raise your awareness to the fact that this is just a little piece of information. There's more that you need to explore, in your own time. You know, maybe I'll come back with future lessons. But anyway, adjectives, analyst, intentional, master. Wow. So master can be an adjective and a verb. Yes, it can. Informative. Okay. So, as I was going to say, I'm going to talk about this soon, but when studying, discover the type of word, discover the variations, explore the variations. So if you check the word and it's a noun, what is the verb? What is the adjective? Okay? So especially during your vocabulary practice, and I recommend you include a little speaking. So I found the word analyze. So I saw that it's analytical. There's a mistake there. Oh my goodness. Let me fix this because it's analytical. I wanted to type analytical, but I didn't. Okay, so let me, slide 7. Let me fix this because this is important. Okay, I didn't pay attention. I think I only copied the word and I didn't change the word. Oopsie daisy. Okay, now it's fixed. Analysis, analyze, analytical. Okay, so that's the thing. Now, so you check the word and you saw, oh, it's a verb. What is the noun? What is the adjective? This is the basic combo, verb, adjective, noun. Because to form a phrase, you need at least these words to make sense. Oh, but you need pronouns. Okay, you need prepositions. Yes, okay. But these are the ones that can confuse a lot of person in a conversation. So you need to observe that, okay? So you check that out. Then, as I said, you are going to practice creating examples with those words. And you can do this like in 3. Noun, adjective, verb. Noun, adjective, verb. This is a very good practice. I do this all the time. These were examples that I created. Why? Because to learn a lesson, I must use it. And I always do what I teach. So information. Nowadays, it is easy to find information on the internet. True. It is true. Now, is it good or bad? You find information. Okay? You have to filter. Inform, the verb. Nowadays, the media can inform us very quickly. Oh, they can inform. The media can inform people very quickly. It's true because of the internet, you know? It's easy. Informative, adjective. Oh, I read your article about emotional intelligence. I loved it. It is very informative. Awesome. So that was my vocabulary practice, to work on this so that I can speak more clearly. And if you want to take this to another level, I recommend you do this orally as well. So I can take the time to create my examples in writing. And when I finish, close the notebook and then I create new ones. Not the same, okay? Because if you just read your examples, it is not a speaking practice. It's a reading practice, pronunciation practice, but it's not a speaking practice. So you close your notebook and then you create 3 new examples. Orally, pick your phone, record yourself and go. So this is an amazing practice. I'm always working on word formation because this will help you. This will help me because I do it. This will help me improve my communication skills. It'll help me speak more correctly. And that is something that if you take the time to work on this when studying vocabulary, when learning words, I know you will improve. Now, as I always tell my students, to learn a lesson, I must use it. So use the lesson. Post 1 example in the comments. Post 3. Pick your favorite words. And if you enjoyed this lesson, oh yes, the disclaimer. I have a disclaimer before I go. As you go deep into this practice, you will realize that some words may have more than one possible adjective, more than one possible noun, which are, depending on the possibilities, they can be used in different ways. So one noun can describe a person, one noun can describe something general. That happens, okay? So this is important for you to know. Adjectives, you may have more than one possible formation. So you have one word, you have 2 possible adjectives, 3 possible adjectives, 2 possible nouns. That happens. You will also see as you go deeper into this practice that some nouns can be used as adjectives to describe other nouns. Look at this, teaching. Teaching, in this case, is a noun. I teach, I am teaching, verb. I am teaching you right now, that's a verb. But depending on the context, teaching is a noun. Yes. So this is, pay attention to the context. This is a teaching channel. I teach, it's a teaching channel, okay? So here in this case, teaching is describing channel. Of course, this is just an example and it would be much better to say this is an educational channel. This is a language teaching channel. That's better, okay? So you will often find this because sometimes you shouldn't think, oh, but what if I am using the word correctly? You will still have to be careful about making mistakes. Because here, as I said, teacher is a person. It's a noun. I'm describing a person. It's a noun, okay? A good teacher. Good is the adjective. So you will see that nouns sometimes describe only people. Adjectives describe a noun. They describe a person, a good teacher, an intelligent teacher, a math teacher, mathematics. It's a noun. But here I'm describing the teacher, a math teacher. There you go. So this will happen, okay? That's why I said before, this is an introduction lesson. There is more information about this subject. Now, I hope you enjoyed this video. Share it with a friend. But other than that, I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.